In this environment, especially in the midst of the pandemic and coming out of the pandemic, and state budgets, as you know, last year we cut $1.3 billion. And so what does our revenue streams look like? And when you add to that conversation, oil and gas being down, we're looking for money. Whenever I travel in the district, I'm often asked the question, what happened to all the marijuana money? And as you know, in 2018, we passed State Question 788 that made marijuana, at least medical marijuana, legal in the state of Oklahoma. I was on a conference call with fiscal leaders from across the United States, and the point was made, people always seem to think there's more marijuana money than actually is out there. And so that's one of the complications. Another complication, and actually the NCSL report of August 2019 articulated it very well, and that is we have no data about history. If we want to talk about alcohol or cigarettes, and we've got data, historical data that says we expect to bring in this much money. But in medical marijuana, we don't know. It's been illegal for a number of years, now it's legal, so what kind of money are we going to come in? So I want to talk just a little bit about last year. Last year we were able to take $40 million from the Medical Marijuana Authority, and we did as the people voted on. 75% was used for education, that was $30 million. $10 million was used for alcohol and drug reform, and so we honored the wishes of the people. $40 million is what we were able to take. And so when we look at the excise tax and sales tax, it produced about $69.6 million last year. Now, it is a new revenue source for us, but the first thing that has to be taken care of is the Medical Marijuana Authority. And so their annual budget is $16.9 million a year. And so the money comes to them to begin with. And then the money that will come in over that we'll be able to use for education and for alcohol and drug reform. And so when we look at that for this fiscal year, and I don't know why, it could be the pandemic, could be whatever, but we're up 119% in that revenue so far. And so it means this year we have collected $14,879,989. And in the prior year, by the same time, we'd only collected $6,805,928. And so up 119%. I don't know if that's going to continue to grow throughout this fiscal year, but that's a significant growth band for us. And so it is a new revenue source. The money, we've talked about where that's going. The OMMA is really working to keep the product safe and make sure that we have a growing industry. There are challenges. Challenges is it's federally illegal. And so therefore you can't bank that money. Everything is done in cash. There are challenges with the tax commission and how do we tax it? And I've got people in my district that are growing medical marijuana, and how is that being taxed? So now we're going into the county taxes and looking at it. So it is being taxed. The other thing that I want to bring out is also, if we look back at the medical marijuana license issued, it's $2,500. And at first we issued about 1,800 of those licenses a year ago in August. This year in August, that's just a little over 1,400. And so we noticed then that the commercial grower's license seems to be trending down. We anticipated that to be the fact because the industry itself will weed out people that are not able to stay competitive within the business. And so we see that going down. But we also see the dispensary license seems to be holding pretty steady. That's coming in, that's also $2,500. And so right now, the question is, what happened to all the marijuana money? It's going exactly where it needed to go, 75% to education, the 25% into alcohol and drug reform. We're also looking at the dollar amount of the money is not as much as people think that it is. They think it's hundreds of millions, and right now we're just not there.